Okay, so now we will study another feature of Xilinx Flex 800A logic element that is called as the cascade in feature. Okay, we have already studied the carry in feature of the Flex 800A logic element. If you look at this logic element, so this logic element will be used to implement any combination or sequential function of four inputs, maximum four inputs. But what if we want to implement a wider function? Let's assume if you want to implement a wider function of 8 inputs or 9 inputs or 10 inputs, how we can implement that? How we can implement wider function? And so we can use the cascade in and cascade out feature, cascade in and cascade out feature of this flex logic element. So there are two features. One is cascade in chain and cascade chain or cascade chain. So there are two type of chains. One is the AND chain and another is OR chain. And I will explain this with an example. I will explain this with an example. Now let's assume that if we want to implement an 8 input AND gate, 8 input AND gate, how we can implement this? So we can divide it into two 4 input AND gates. So now let's assume we are using the AND cascade chain. Okay, so let's assume we want to implement a function, and this function is I0, I1, I2 up to I7, and the output is K. We want to implement this function, but with the current Flex 800 element, we can only implement a combination function of 4 input, not a combination function of 8 input. So we can partition this into two. So we can partition this into two AND gate. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this will be input I0 to I3 and I4 to I7, and this can be implemented with logic element 1. This can be used with logic element 1. The second one can be implemented using logic element 2. And we can then use which chain? AND cascade chain or OR cascade chain? AND cascade chain. So what is K? So K is actually, if you look at K is equal to, let's assume this output is F1 and F2. So K is equal to F1 and F2, and then F1 is here and F2 can be implemented with here. So this F1 is here and we can do this, and then this is your output. Okay, what will be the input to this LUT? I3, and for this LUT I4 to I7. So in this way we have used an AND cascade chain to implement a wider function. Now we have implemented a wider function. And how many logic elements we have used to implement this function? Two logic elements. Now if you look at the contents of the LUT, so for this simple function, now this is a very simple function. For this, how many locations will be there? 16 locations. So actually 0, all will be 0, and the last one will be 1. And for this LUT, 1. Now if you want to implement a wider OR gate, let's assume J1 to J7 and the output is L. So which cascade chain will use? OR chain. So actually this can be partitioned into two 4 input OR gates. One OR gate can be implemented with one logic element, other OR gate will be implemented with the second logic element, and then which chain can be used? OR. So there is a functionality, and within this, if you look at this implementation, so then now we have a carry in and carry out. Carry in and carry out can be used to implement a logic function or arithmetic function. Arithmetic function. And cascade in and cascade out logic function. Wider logic function or smaller logic function? Wider logic function. So if you want to implement wider logic function, you will use cascade change. The cascade change can be or chain or and chain. Now we will implement another function that is a more complex function.
सर ये लॉजिक एलिमेंट बताया कि लट और उसके आगे और है, तो ये जो और गेट है ये लॉजिक एलिमेंट का पार्ट तो नहीं है, मतलब इसमें तो नहीं है.
No, it's not there. But if you look at here, this is hidden.
Okay.
So if you look at here, okay, you said it's not like, so this the cascade change. This is internal implementation. How it is implemented internally, we don't know. But internal there will be some logic. Similarly, for cascading and cascade out, there will be internal some logic. So actually, in this logic element, in this cascading and cascade out, there will also be an AND gate or gate, and there will be some built-in multiplexers. And the built-in multiplexer will maybe there is a multiplexer here, and this multiplexer will decide that whether we will use OR chain or AND chain. Okay. Now we look up to, now we will implement some more. Okay, now we have implemented this one. We implement this example. Now let's assume we have another function. Can you see this function?
Yes, sir.
F out. Okay, now this is F out. Can you see the F out?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this F out. So this F out is a function of 8 inputs A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So this F out can, if you look at here, so F out is a function of what? A, B, so forth, so on to G. So this F out is a function of 7 inputs. But if you partition this, can we see F1 and F2? What is F1? F1 is a function of A, B, C, D.
4 inputs.
So F1 is a function of 4 inputs.
Logic array 1.
And F2 is a function of
3 inputs.
D, E, F, G. Also 4 inputs.
Yes, sir.
F1 is a function of 4 inputs.
F2
is a function of 4 inputs. So we have implemented or divided a wider function input into multiple 4 input functions. So actually, F out is a wider function of 7 inputs. We have divided this into two functions of 4 inputs. One is F1. Can you see here? One is F1 and another is F2. Now F1, if you look at F1 is a function of A, B, C, D.
Yes.
And F2 is a function of
D,
E, F, G. Now if you look at these two functions, this, now we can say here F1 is a function of A, B, C, D, and F2 is a function of D, E, F, G. Now if you look at this F out, so F out is actually F1 or, this is not plus, this is actually logical OR. F1 or F2. Which chain will we use?
Or chain.
Or chain. So if you want to implement this on this slide, so actually, so now we have LUT. What will be the input to the first LUT? A, B, C, and D. And what will be the input to the second LUT?
E, F, G.
Okay, now we will not use this chain. Yes, we will use this function. A, B, C, and D, and the output is F1. And if you look at here, F2 is a function of D, E, F, G. D, E, F, G, and this is F2, and this one is F1 or F2, and this is equal to F out. And maybe in exam I will give you a random function, and maybe that function is a wider input function, and then you can cleverly adjust them so that you should implement that function with minimum number of. Now it's also possible. Now if you look at this function, you may say that, okay, I will use one logic element to implement A, B, C, D, and another logic element to implement A bar, B bar, C. Actually, how you can use it? How many are get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are 5, and you have an OR change among all, but it will be efficient implementation or inefficient implementation? Inefficient. It's also possible that you use one logic element to implement A, B, C, D, another logic element to implement A bar, B bar, C, but if you look at here, it can be combined. Because you can use the common one, or the common one can be combined. And for that, you should partition your wider function. You should partition your wider function into multiple smaller functions. And each smaller function should be of how many inputs? Maximum 4 inputs. Of maximum, it can be 2 inputs, no problem. It can be of 2 inputs, no problem. And we also studied in how we can implement a smaller function with a bigger lookup table. Implementing a smaller function is not a problem, but implementing a bigger function is a problem. So actually, if you want to implement a wider function, so you can either use cascade and chain or cascade or chain. So in this particular example, we will use cascade or chain. Similarly, if you look at this another example, can you see this example? Can you see this example? What is F out? F out is actually A, B, C, D, E bar, F, G, H, or C, D, E, C bar, E, and F. If you look at this function, F out. So actually, can we write it like this? A, B, C, D, can we? So we have divided it into F1,
or F2.
F1, F2, or F3. So in this case, and chain will be used or OR chain will be used? And chain. And for this, OR chain. So if you look at this function, so actually this F1 is a function of A, B, C, D. F2 is a function of E, F, G, H, and F3 is a function of C, D, E, F. And for the above, so for this, which chain is used? For this, AND chain, and for the second one, OR chain. So if you look at this F out, what is F out now? F out is equal to F1 and F2 or F3. F3. So back up to the slide 11. So now we have a flex 800 logic elements. This flex 800 logic element can be used to implement a single function of 4 inputs. A maximum 4 inputs. You can also implement a combination function of 2 or 3 inputs. It can either be used to implement a combination function or a sequential function. It can also be used in an arithmetic mode. In arithmetic mode, which chain will be used? Carry in and carry out. And if you look at here, this lookup table consists of 16 storage locations. This can be partitioned into two 8 storage location. One can be used to implement sum, another can be used to implement cout, and then we can have a carry in chain and carry out chain. This mode is called as arithmetic mode. Another mode is the logical mode. If you want to implement wider function, more than 4 inputs, so we have two types of chain. One is cascade AND chain, and another is cascade OR chain. So in this way, we can implement wider function input by combining multiple logic elements. And if you want to connect the multiple logic element from the same logic array block, so which type of interconnect can you use? Local interconnect. Okay, and if you want to connect one logic element from one logic array block to another logic element to another logic array block, then we can either use row fast track interconnect or column fast track interconnect, depending on that whether it like we can also use a combination. Like let's say if it's in this row and this column, we can also use row fast track interconnect or column fast track interconnect, depending on the location. If they fall within the same column, row column fast track interconnect.
Yes, sir.
If they belong to the same row fast track interconnect. And if they belong to different columns and different rows, both of them will be used. Both of them will be used. So depending on the scenario, all of these logic elements can be configured in different modes. Okay, now as far as now we have studied the logic element, but now we will study an IO element. Actually, this IO element was called as IOB in Xilinx architecture. Now this architecture is called as Altera architecture. In Altera architecture, it is called as IOE. Okay, so now this input-output element or IOE is connected to the chip pins. This is now the chip pin. And it can be used in various modes. It can be used as a combinational input, or combinational output, or sequential input or sequential output. Now it can be a rising edge of the clock or the falling edge of the clock. Now how we can use it? So if you look at here, now let's assume if you want to use it as a input, how we can use it? G. No. Now if let's assume if you want to implement a combinational input, how we can use it? So it will come from here, come from multiplexer and go. It can go either to the row fast track interconnect or column fast track interconnect, depending on the location of the pin. Now let's assume if we have a pin, the pin is here. If the pin is here, so it will be connected to the column fast track interconnect. And if the pin is here, it will be connected to row fast track, depending on the location of the pin. Okay, depending on the location. Let's assume this is your row and this is your, the row is highlighted. Let's assume that the row is highlighted in blue and the column is highlighted in red. So if the pin is located here, it will be connected to row interconnect or row. And if the pin is located here, column interconnect. Okay. Now another example. Now we have combinational input. What about sequential input? Sequential input. How we can go through sequential out? Here we'll go flip flop. We'll go from here, then now we will go from the chip pin. We'll go to the flip flop. and then the output of the flip-flop will be go same multiplexer. Okay. Okay. So the multiplexer is there. This multiplexer is used that whether it is used to configure as an input or output, and this multiplexer that whether you want a combination function or a sequential function. Okay, it all depends on that. And there is also slew rate control. We also have a program with slew rate control. What is the slew rate control? It can either be configured as a slow or fast. If the slew rate is slow, the power consumption will be less, and design will operate at a high speed. Lower speed. Slow speed.
सर ये combination और sequential का बता देंगे multiplexer कैसे चलता है?
Sequential input, you can go through the home and then you can implement this. Okay, now this is sequential input. The input is coming from here on the red. It will go to the flip flop, and this output flip flop it will connect. Okay, now the third case, combinational output. Combinational output. In case of the output, from here the signal will be coming.
Row and column.
From here, the signal will be coming from here. From the output, the signal will be coming from here. Okay, and because it is combinational, it will go here. It will go here and here. Okay, and what about? Now let's say if you want to implement a sequential output, the signal will be coming from row fast track interconnect from here. So these are various paths. So actually these IO elements can be implemented as a combination input or sequential input, or a combination output or a sequential output. There is also a slew rate control. You can set the slew rate control to be high or low. And in the flip flop, if you look at the flip flop, it can be either operated at a rising edge of the clock or the falling edge of the clock, and this is controlled from these signals. These are these signals. Either the flip flop, there is a set and clear logic. Preset and a clear logic. So there is also a set and clear logic. Okay. So now this is the functionality. It's the functionality of the Xilinx 800A IO element. Okay. Now, the previous architecture that we studied was Xilinx 8000. It was called as Xilinx Flex 8000 architecture. Now we are studying Xilinx Flex 10,000 or 10K architecture. This is called as Flex 10K architecture. It is much similar to the Flex 8000 architecture, but with additional implementation of EAB. So what's there? If you look at this architecture, what is this? What are these? Input output element. Combination input or sequential input, or combination output or sequential output with a programmable slew rate control. What is this?
Logic array block,
LAB. So this logic array block, and this logic array block consists of 8 logic elements. Okay. Okay. Now what is this? Row fast track interconnect. And this one? Column fast track interconnect. And what about this one?
Local fast track interconnect.
LAB local interconnect. LAB local interconnect. And when within this logic element, which chains are there? Carry in chain, carry out chain, cascade in chain, and cascade out chain. Okay. Now, in addition to this, we have an EAB. What does EAB stand for? EAB stands for embedded array block. Okay, now I will explain this, that what is an embedded array block. Okay. Now embedded array block. So now this is an embedded array block, and actually it is a bigger memory structure. Let's say if you want to implement some memory, small memories. So the embedded array block can provide you the functionality to implement some memory. The functionality to implement some memory. Now if you look at here, I will explain it here. If you look at this EAB, so actually it is 256 multiplied by 8. 256 multiplied by 8. So it can be configured into 256 multiplied by 8. It's just like a memory. If you remember. So if how many locations it can store? 256 location. So what will be the address lines? A7, A6, A0. So how many storage location will there? So actually it will have 2 raised to power A cross W. What is A? Address lines, if you remember. What is W? Data lines. And what is W in this example? 8. This is 8. So actually the output is D7 to D00. So actually this EAB can be configured. Now this will be treated as a memory. This is EAB can store 256 location each of 8 bits. It can also be configured in another mode, and that mode is 5112. 5112 plus what? 4. Yes, sir. It can be configured as a 5112 cross 4. So what will be the address lines here now? No, A8 to A0. And what will be the data lines? D3 to D0. Now if you look at the first mode, 256 cross 8. 256 cross 8. So how will it look like? So it means that if it's 256 cross 8, the first address will be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. The second address will be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. And what will be the last address? 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay. And how many locations will be there? 256. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. How many columns will be there? 8 columns. So actually, the first column will be storing what? D7, D6, up to D0. Now let's assume that if the input is A, which location will be accessed? This location will be accessed, and let's assume that the value stored is 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1. So let's assume if the input is this, which location will be accessed? This location will be accessed. Blue. And the output, what will be the output? 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1. So actually, this EAB can be implemented as in one mode. It will can be configured as a 256 cross 8 memory, of 5112 cross 4 memory, or 1024 cross 2, or 2048 cross 1. So how many columns will be in the last one? Single column. Okay. And how many address lines? Here 8 address lines, 9 address lines, 10 and 11 address lines. So in this case, if you want to implement a memory Okay, and you can implement multiple type of memories using this EAB. Okay, you can also implement multiple type of memories using this EAB. Okay, this EAB can also be used. This EAB can be used to implement some function. How we can implement some function using this EAB? This EAB can also be used to implement some function. Using lookup table. So how? It's very simple. Now let's assume that we want to implement a multiplier A30 and B30. What will be the output? Multiplier 70. Why it will be 70? If we multiply to n-bit function, the output will be 2 n-bits. If we multiply to n-bit numbers, the output will be 2n. Why? Why it's like this? What will be the maximum value of A? Let's assume A is a 4-bit signal. What will be the maximum value of A? 15. What will be the maximum value of B? 15. If you multiply 15 by 15, what will be the result? 225. 225, and to store 225, we need at least 8 bits. So we can use the EAB in which mode? 256 cross 8, because the output is now 8 bit. Now, how we can store this values? So now we have an EAB. We have an EAB, and now let's assume we have 0, 0, 0, 0, okay, and 0, 0, 0, 0, and now let's assume the input is 0, 0, 0, 0, and 0, 0, 0, 1, and let's assume we have now here 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, and now 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, and now 1, 1, 1, 1, and 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay. Now which function we are implementing? A30. So this is A30, and this one is B30. Okay, which value should be stored in this location? What value should be stored in this location? What is the A now? 2. 2 multiplied by 3? 6. What will be the output? 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1. And which value will be stored here? Here. 15 multiplied by 15. So what will be stored here? Binary of what? 2 to 5. Okay, so now if you look at here, so now we have a Xilinx Flex 10K architecture. In this Flex 10K architecture, it consists of I/O elements, logic array blocks, row fast track interconnect, column fast track interconnect. If you look at the logic array block, it consists of 8 logic elements. Each logic element can implement a combinational function of or sequential function of maximum of 4 inputs. But if you want to implement wider function, we can use cascade chain, cascade or chain, or cascade and chain. And if you want to implement arithmetic function like an adder, we can use it in arithmetic mode and use carry in or carry out mode. And within Xilinx Flex 10K architecture, we also have some EAB. This EAB can be used either as a memory. It can be configured as 256 multiplied by 8 memory, or 5112 multiplied by 4 memory, or 1024 multiplied by 2 memory, or 2048 multiplied by 1 cross 1 memory. Okay, and this EAB not only can be used to implement some memory, but it can also be used to implement some wider function like multiply. Now we studied how we can implement a multiplier using this
ये भी
EAB.